There we go. So, welcome everyone. What a blessing to be here with you all. Class 91, Biblical Foundation, Genesis, the Book of Beginnings. So, we're here with two sisters and one niece and daughter. So, we're in family. So, we're going to be reviewing the start of Abraham and Sarah's testing of Abimelech. So let's start. Rosie, can you please give us Genesis chapter 20, verses 1 to 2 in English?
And Abram journeyed from Tis toward the south country, and dwelt between Kadesh and Shur, and sojourned in Gerar. And Abram said of Sarah, his wife, She is my sister. And Abimelech, king of Gerar, sent and took Sarah.
Very good. In the first line, the last word is a little bit difficult, and it's and dwelled. Dwelled,
Well,
like
well,
habitated. Very good. And so let me try that in Portuguese. E partiu Abrão dali para a terra do sul, e habitou entre Cádiz e Sur, e peregrinou em Gerar. Okay, so Mariana, can you kindly read question A in English?
Was Abraham lying?
Very good, well pronounced.
So to answer,
yes.
okay. Um, he is lying because he was afraid of losing his wife.
Okay, well, and let's think of that together. Is he, where is he lying? Because he says that Sarah is his sister. Is that true or not true?
No.
Have to.
Well, it's true. That yes, and we'll see in a bit. Sarah is his half sister,
Yeah.
and so technically, it's a sister. So it's like a subset of half of sister is half sister. So, uh, so while he may not have been lying, but he's not being honest, not being fully honest or trusting of God. So, uh, Raimunda, can you kindly read question B in English?
Is this the first time Abraham and Sarah used this subterfuge?
Very good. What do we think?
Mm. I was last class, so the revision. Let them think.
So Raimunda was at the last class, so she knows. But what do you think, Rosie and Mariana? Have they has
Me,
Yeah.
I think because back then kings liked it before beautiful woman.
true? So that's what he was concerned was that Sarah, his beautiful wife, would be taken from him and he would be killed. We'll see. But the question is this the first time that he and Sarah use this deception? Is another synonym for subterfuge. And I think Raimunda knows. You remember Raimunda? Is it the first time?
Yes. No, that's the second time.
Exactly right. And so the first time was in Egypt. Abraham and
Yeah.
Sarah made the same mistake. It's Genesis chapter 12, starting with verse 10. So we won't go back and read all that, but wow. So let's see. So Josie, can you kindly read question C in English?
How could he make the same mistake?
Okay, very well pronounced. So what's going on? He reprimanded him back in Genesis 12 in Egypt, or rather, the Pharaoh did. And so Any idea how could Abraham make the same mistake?
Because of fear?
Exactly right. He must be very scared. All right. He wants to protect his wife. She's beautiful. Right? He wants to protect her. But
Yeah.
that happened back in Egypt also, and he didn't seem to learn the message. My goodness. Uh, and as back in Egypt, did he pray before deciding what to do? I don't think so. It doesn't say that he did. So he was so scared he couldn't trust in God. Okay, so now we're going to get to new material. So Mariana, can you kindly read Genesis chapter 20, verse 3 in English?
But God came to Abimelech in a dream by night, and said to him, Behold, thou art but a dead man, for the woman which thou hast taken, for she is a man's wife.
Okay, very well pronounced. Thank you. So Deus, porém, veio a Abimeleque os sonhos de noite e disse-lhe: Eis que morto serás por causa da mulher que tomaste, porque ela está casada com marido. Uh-oh. So let's go ahead. So Raimunda, can you kindly read question one in English?
What is God threatening?
Yeah. All right. So what is he threatening?
Abimelech's life?
Exactly right. So he's saying, I would kill you. I would kill you if he does what?
If he gets her for him,
Yes, that's a
then
nice
we
one.
can, yes,
Yes. If he knows her.
yeah, he knows
To use
her.
the or violated her is a good word in English for that without being too explicit. Okay, so let's go ahead now for uh Hosie. Can you kindly read the next verse, which is the next verses, which are Genesis chapter 20, verses 4 and 5, please.
But Abimelech had not come near here. And he said, Lord, wilt thou slay our righteous nation? Said he not unto me, She is my sister. And she herself said, He is my brother. In the integrity of my heart and innocence of my hands have I done this.
Very good. Let me make two small suggestions for pronunciation. In the first line, I think you said come near here, but it's her. Come near
Hmm.
her, right? So here has an extra E at the end. And then the second to last line, I think you said here, but it's heart. Heart, my heart and innocency.
Much innocent.
Very good. Mas Abimeleque ainda não se tinha chegado a ela. Por isso disse: Senhor, matarás também uma nação justa? Não me disse ele mesmo, e minha irmã? E ela também disse: E meu irmão? Em sinceridade de coração e em pureza das minhas mãos tenho feito isto. Okay, so, uh, Mariana, can you kindly read question two in English?
Is Abimelech's country actually a righteous nation?
Very well pronounced. What do we think? He's arguing with God.
Oh, yeah.
Well, let's think together. First of all, uh, does anyone know where is Gerar? So it's said in verse
Philippines.
1. Exactly right.
Philippines.
Yep. So Raimunda remembers it's in Philistine, and Philistine, is that is that a righteous nation?
No.
No. Okay, so
I
maybe
remember the Goliath, right?
yes, yes.
He's from there, right?
Yep. Okay, so well, maybe what he means is that in this specific instance, his nation is righteous, so that he, as the
Mm.
king, has not violated a married woman, so that the nation is still because their king did nothing wrong, then the nation did nothing wrong. But we'll see. So I think we actually just answered the next question, but Raimunda, can you read question 3, please, in English?
What nation is it of which Gerar is the capital? Oh, I said it, right?
It's
Yeah.
yes, it's actually Gerar, and you said Philistine. So you answered the question before you asked it.
You asked where is Gerar
Before
in?
I asked it, you're right. You answered the question before, but you just asked it. You just asked the question too.
No, no,
So
you asked the question. So where is Gerar? Gerar.
okay,
I
okay.
said,
Fair enough. Fair enough. Thank you. So Hawsey, can you kindly read
Mm.
question 4 in English?
What nation would that territory be eventually called?
Okay, so what do you think? So Philistine is not known as Philistine today. And what is it known as today?
Palestine from Palestine.
Palestine,
Right?
absolutely right. Correct. Okay, so and then let's think about a little bit of history together. So Mariana, can you please read question 5 in English?
Who created the name?
All right, thank you. Does anyone remember? So when did it change from Philistine to Palestine?
"Hey,
The Romans.
The Romans, absolutely right.
Romans.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Okay, and do you recall, Rosie, why did the Romans do that around when?
The year.
When? Sorry, Mariana?
The
Well, yeah,
year.
yeah,
The
exactly. What year, more or less? So the
it
Romans
was
did it, and did the Romans do it because they liked the Jews?
no, I
No,
don't think so.
correct. So were you responding, Mariana? Do you have an idea when?
It was I think it was after a war of territory.
Okay, but
And
that's a good guess. But it would happen after the Romans were really angry at the Jews. And when were they really angry at the Jews? This is after Jesus Christ.
mhm,
Didn't the Jews rebel?
mm,
Yeah. And so they
yeah,
rebelled twice, and the Romans then attacked and destroyed Jerusalem. And I think the
yes.
last time was in 135 AD. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
and the Romans were so angry with the Jews, they said, "We're going to call this place now after your worst enemies." All right, or close to it. So they said they took the name Philistines. They said, "No, this is Palestine." Speaking of Israel, so they were not happy with the Jews, and that's when the Palestines came in. And interestingly, another little bit of history. Until Yasser Arafat's time and the PLO, the Palestinian Liberation Army, everyone thought that who were the Palestinians? They were Jewish. There was such a thing as called the Palestine Post, which was Jewish. There was all sorts of things in today's Israel. And when people referred to the Palestinians, they actually were referring to the Jews. But anyway, that's just a interesting fact of history. So, Raimunda, can you kindly read? Oh, Well, we just answered. Look at that. We just answered this question. So so we're
Was
gonna.
me, wasn't
It's because you're like well, we're gonna then let they're gonna jump then to the next verse. So Raimonda, can you kindly read Genesis chapter 20, verse 6 in English?
it? And God said unto him in a dream, Yes, I know that thou didst this in the integrity of thy heart, for I also withheld thee from sinning against me. Therefore suffered I thee not to touch her.
Thank you, very well pronounced. E disse-lhe Deus em sonhos: Bem sei que eu na sinceridade, bem sei eu que na sinceridade do seu coração fizeste isso. E também eu te tenho impedido de pecar contra mim. Por isso não te permiti tocar lá. Interesting. Wow. Uh, so God is communicating directly here with Abimelech in dreams. And now he said, Hey, I'm the one who kept you from sinning. So, Hawsey, can you kindly read question 7 in English?
If God protected Abimelech from sinning, why did he threaten him in verse 3?
Yeah, that's threaten him. So that threaten him. Very good. Yeah, so what's God doing here? I thought back in verse 3, he just said, Hey, you touch that woman, I'll kill you.
Mm.
But it was God himself who kept him from sinning. So what's up?
Okay, I don't know.
Well,
Mm, I don't
maybe,
know the
maybe.
answer.
So God was obviously controlling things on at least on the side of Abimelech here, but perhaps he wanted to instill fear of God in Abimelech. He didn't just take care of him. He just admitted that he took care of him, but he wanted to instill fear into Abimelech first, right? So Abimelech
Yeah,
was like,
but
hey, go ahead, Raimonda.
I think he also wants to protect Sarah,
hmm But
right?
but the question is, if he protected
I know.
Abimelech from sinning, then why did he threaten him? Protecting
Mm,
Sarah is something else.
yeah.
So and remember the first part of wisdom is fear, fear of God. So
Yeah.
God was like, okay, I'm gonna shake you up, Abimelech.
She's
Oh,
revealing himself to him,
yeah,
right?
exactly. And
I
just
think,
imagine this: Abimelech is having these powerful dreams.
yes. He's
Imagine
a
if
very
an
good.
Imagine if an unsaved leader of a country was had God to speak to him, and like he goes, "Whoa." Uh, at least, he's paying attention, that's for sure. All right, so
Hopefully he got
go ahead, Haimunda.
hopefully he got saved.
Well, could be, but maybe not. Maybe not. But he learned some respect, let's say, about the true God. So, Mariana, can you kindly read Genesis chapter 20, verse 7 in English?
Now therefore restore the man his wife, for he is a prophet, and he shall pray for thee, and thou shalt live. And if thou restore her not, know thou that thou shalt surely die, thou and all that are in time. I don't know.
Thine, yes. That's another classic English word. And just a suggestion, the THOW is more often pronounced thou instead
Thou,
of though.
thou.
Even though if you looked at, I just said it, the word THOUGH is thou, For some reason, English is irregular. You take off the GH and it's thou instead of thou. Okay, so let me try this in Portuguese. Agora, pois, restitui a mulher ao seu marido, porque profeta é, e rogará por ti, para que vivas. Porém, se não lá restituireis, sabe que certamente morrerás, tu e tudo o que é teu. Wow, there's some new words in Portuguese for me. All right, so let's go. Raimunda, can you kindly read question 8 in English?
There is an important first mention in this verse. What is it?
Okay, now I'm not sure everyone here on this study tonight knows what a first mention is. And it's a biblical concept that the first mention of a word, important word in the Bible, helps establish its meaning for the rest of the Bible. So the first mention of an important word helps establish the foundation for that word. So what do you think is the important word that's mentioned for the first time in the Bible in this verse? Any guesses?
Prophet.
Yes, because it is the most important word of the verse, and it happens to be the first time the word prophet is ever used in the Bible. Interesting. So let's think together, and we'll go further now. Halsey, can you kindly read question 9 in English?
How does this verse clarify the words godly meaning compared to today's uses of it? I don't know.
Okay. In that first clarify, and so you do want to pronounce the Y at the end, which
Yes.
you did with godly, and then it's clarify. And then at the very end of the question is usage. I think maybe you said usage or gave it a soft U, but it's a stronger, more open U, usage. Okay, so now that we know the word is prophet, does the word prophet in this verse have the meaning that everyone thinks of today when you say this word?
Not really, I think.
So
Represented,
what does prophet mean to most people today when you say, oh, that's a prophet?
a representative of God,
That they do what of God?
a
Rep-
representative of
represent.
represented.
Represent. Okay,
Yeah,
that's actually the meaning from this verse, which is good. All right, so it's like God's spokesman. So a prophet is representing God, is a spokesman.
yeah.
But when most times in the Bible, when we hear of a prophet, what does that mean? It's a prophet who does what?
Prophecy. And
Exactly, exactly. He prophesizes,
yeah,
and that's
and
for. Go ahead, Raimunda.
uh, I remember uh, Samuel, right? God spoke to him and he speaks to the people, and the people speaks to him and he speaks to God.
Yeah,
So he both ways, right? He
true.
was the mediator.
Yes, that's true. That's true. Okay. But what you said at first, prophesizing. So today we think of a prophet who makes prophecies about the future. And that is often taking God's word. He says what's going to happen, and then it does happen. So, anyway, it's interesting. So, this is more establishing the biblical term, it's more God's spokesman or representative. And so, Mariana, can you kindly read question 10 in English?
Is that another lesson to be learned from God's threat?
Yes, thank you. Very well pronounced.
Wow. I think yes, because it it shows how important is marriage to God.
Agreed, agreed. And so when he says, "For he is a prophet," and he shall pray for thee, and et cetera, et cetera. But and thou shalt surely, and that thou know that thou shalt surely die, and thou and all that are thine. So in other words, you hurt this prophet. So yes, it's partly because you can't, in general, a person cannot violate someone else's wife. But he seems to be implying here this is like particularly strong. Abraham, is a prophet. So, like, don't harm the prophet or his wife. Uh, so let's see what the next verse has to say about that. And so, Haimunda, can you read the mystery verse, chapter 105:15 in English, please?
Saying, touch not my anointed, and do
Verso usado para mostrar
my prophets no harm.
Thank you. There, okay, there it is. So, and let me read that in Portuguese. Não toques os meus ungidos, e não maltrateis os meus profetas. Okay, so there it is. It's agreeing. But let's go ahead to question 11 about this verse. So, Hawzi, can you kindly read question 11 in English?
This verse is used by many to justify what unbiblical view.
Very well pronounced. Thank you. So maybe you've heard this verse used before. It's like, touch not mine anointed.
Yes,
And
a
how is it?
lot.
Okay, and exactly, Haimundo, but how is it used and misused today?
Uh, I see that they 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 are trying to avoid accountability from
Mhm.
leaders, which is not, what God said. Yeah. So that area that the leader, the pastor is the angel of the church and so, and no one can say anything, he can do whatever, and no accountability from him. That
Absolutely right, Haimunda. So, in other words, it's like, don't criticize any of the Lord's anointed. But that's not what it says. It's like, touch not mine anointed. And by touch, it really means like, don't hurt them. Okay. So when David refused to kill uh, Saul, all right, he more or less said the same. It's like, no, this is someone anointed by God. Who am I to remove him? All right.
and he and he was trying to kill him.
Well, he thought of it, but he didn't do it. Yes.
Yeah,
He was,
but no, no, saw
yes, yeah, yeah, yeah.
the
Oh,
anointed
yeah, yeah,
wanted to kill David, but even like that, he
yeah.
didn't touch him.
Amazing, no? So that then is like touch not mine anointed. So that's a correct interpretation. Don't kill. Physically harm God anointed, but criticize, I think Haimunda is absolutely correct. This is misused by many pastors saying, "Oh, you can't, you can't say this about some other big pastor of a big mega church." So we have to be
But
careful how we criticize, but no, it's not they're not protected from accountability, and that's a good way to put it. You wanted to say something else, Haimunda?
we are putting fear in the members, in the people in the church to stay quiet and accept
Mm,
anything.
yeah, yeah. And let's be honest, it's also we're not supposed to criticize high profile televangelists or let's say or the gospel of prosperity. So it's used to say, no, no, you can't criticize. Right? So it's not just one's own pastor, but it's you're not supposed to point the finger at any pastor, which doesn't seem quite right. Because God wants us to correct each other humbly in a biblical way. So, Mariana, can you kindly read Genesis chapter 20, verse 8 in English, please?
Um, Therefore Abimelech rose early in the morning and called all his servants and told all these things in their ears. And the men were sore afraid.
Beautifully pronounced, thank you. E levantou-se Abimeleque pela manhã de madrugada, chamou a todos os seus servos e falou todas estas palavras em seus ouvidos, e temeram muito aqueles homens. All right, interesting. Well, Abimelech is certainly a man of action. And so let's go. That was so, Haimunda, can you kindly read question 12 in English?
Did Abimelech delay in alerting his servants?
Very well pronounced. Thank you. Did he?
No.
No. It's like rose early in the morning.
Yeah.
It wasn't one of those dreams which was hard to remember. You know, sometimes you wake up and go, "What was I dreaming about?"
I never know.
All right, so it's like when he woke up, or maybe it was even like right after the dream, maybe he woke up. I don't know. It was like very early. I'm like, okay, we got to go do this. So, man of action. All right, so Hosey, can you kindly read Genesis chapter 20, verses 9 and 10, please?
Then Abimelech called Abram and said unto him, What hast thou done unto us? And what have I offended thee, that thou hast brought on me and on my kingdom a great sin? Thou hast done deeds unto me that ought not to be done. And Abimelech said unto Abram, What sawest thou that thou hast done this thing? Wow, essas palavras difíceis.
Okay, lots of words. Well done. Remember though, it's thou.
Ah,
Thou,
Without the GH, it's no longer though, but
thou,
thou. Yeah. So and it's a word not used very often. So it's classical
uhum.
English. So let me try this in Portuguese. Então chamou Abimeleque a Abrão e disse-lhe: Que nos fizeste? Em que pequei contra ti, para trazeres sobre o meu reino tamanho pecado? Tu me fizeste aquilo que não deverias ter feito. Wow. Abimelech is like giving it to Abraham. So, Mariana, can you kindly read question 13 in English?
Was Abimelech justified in his criticism?
Okay. So yeah, was Abimelech being fair?
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. Uh, and the amazing thing is Abimelech sounds exactly like the mad Pharaoh, the angry Pharaoh in Egypt, who also was angry.
Yeah.
So, wow. So I don't know if he forgot about it or something, but maybe Abraham is looking for uh, you know, getting beat up verbally or something. So let's see. So Haimunda, can you kindly read the last question of the evening in English? And I'm gonna have to ask you to add a word. So it's would God allow? But go ahead.
Exactly. I said I didn't understand this when I read. But
Uh-huh.
yeah, why God then would allow Abraham to make this mistake
Okay.
Difícil falar.
Yeah, and to make it again.
again? But is God allowing or is Abraham
Yeah.
being, I think it's not about allowing. It's also a difficult question anyway,
Mhm.
even with the God. I presume that God will be there, but is God allowing me to sin or is
Mhm.
my sin nature, right?
Yes, yes. Well, and that you're absolutely right because this gets close to the Lutheran, the Calvinistic, the Presbyterian uh, exaggeration that God controls everything and that there
No.
is no free will.
Yeah.
So understanding that, so no, I don't think one can say that God controls everything. We do have free will, and so it's a valid question, Haimunda. Well, did God really allow Abraham, or was this just Abraham's free will? In
Abraham's free.
so in this case, remember that God went out of his way to protect Abimelech. So it sounds like God was in this sense, he withheld his protection from Abraham. All right. If he would go and protect a unsaved ruler, king of a pagan country, then it sounds like maybe he's using this as in order to teach a lesson. So is he teaching a First of all that happens in the Bible, which is history, is to help us learn a lesson. All right. So the Holy Spirit chose which histories that God had already worked together. Some of it, including free will, some of it, including God's control, to teach us lessons. But then when we go back and look at the actual history, we also wonder what is he doing then? So what was God gaining? Why did this have to happen again? Why the same thing?
Well, he protect anyone. He loves everyone, even the king of this nation
Hmm.
is an ungodly nation,
Yeah.
right? And he loves everyone, and he will protect everyone. Um, I learned that he will protect anyone, in on earth. But also Abraham, I don't know. For me, I see all the sin and the mistakes that the fathers and all the characters in the Bible, God uses there to teach us that they are normal people,
Hmm. Hmm.
used by Him, but also normal people. So I am a normal people, a normal person, so He can use anyone because
True.
you don't need to
Okay.
be perfect. The lesson for me,
Yes.
the lesson is that you don't need to be perfect because if you want to be perfect, we're not going to do anything.
Hmm. True. Very good point. So, and that's more the part that, yes, he uses these histories to teach us a lesson. So
Yeah,
that's a good lesson that you've learned from that. But could it be that he's testing Abimelech? Yeah.
can
You
be.
know, even though he said he protected Abimelech, he also is testing him. He gave him dreams and he wanted to see Abimelech's response, and Abimelech's response was good. He was like, "Uh-oh, that sounds like the real God." it wasn't something that I ate. It wasn't the pizza that I ate that gave me this dream, right? No, I was actually spoken to by God and Abimelech. He acted immediately. So I don't know if this impacted Abimelech. Abimelech, as you said, Haimunda, well, maybe Abimelech got saved. I don't believe he did because Philistine, remained an evil nation. But Abimelech was being tested by God and he responded to God. Just think of modern leaders today. If they had a dream like this, would they respond? I think most of them were like, that's crazy. It was the pizza speaking to me. So, yeah, we had to give Abimelech some credit.
Right. Yeah. So
And
that's
then
why maybe we don't know. Maybe we're gonna meet him in heaven.
you're right. We can't tell. It doesn't say. It doesn't say. It doesn't.
Perfect.
It doesn't. We don't know what happened to Abimelech. I don't think we know. And
The,
then
the in Canaan, the prostitute that saved the spies, she was Canaanite, which was Philistine, né? Philistine in Canaan.
I'm not sure. Yeah, what that was you're talking about in Jericho?
Yeah, Jericho, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that was Canaan, I know was what Israel is now. So Philistine is close, but I'm not sure it was that Jericho was in Philistine. So well, so just one last thought. So it sounds like remember Abraham was an incredible man of God, and that he was the first one in the Bible who was counted righteousness. All right, so he was proven righteous in by his belief in God, by his faith. It was
Okay.
his faith that turned him into a righteous man, and essentially he was saved by faith. And so he's a huge figure in the Bible. But as Haimund is saying, he's also human, and he keeps on making mistakes. And so, in a sense, he's maybe giving Abraham one more reminder. Abraham, I'm with you. Yeah, I promised you that through your descendants, like all of all the most important things in the world, you'd be the father of many nations. And like with Sarah. So it's like, don't like panic when you go to Philistine and are afraid that your beautiful wife will be taken from you and you will be killed. So don't get scared so easily, Abraham. And Abraham was not a unbrave man. Remember, Abraham was called from the Ur of Chaldees. He left his comfortable home to never return again. He became a vagabond. He never had a place of his own for very long, right? So he was promised this, that he would be the father of the nation, but did he have the nation himself? No. So,
Descendant.
okay, but he got scared. While he was a courageous man, he could get scared. So anyway, very interesting to think together through these subtle stories in the Bible. And remember, we get to look at them together now much more slowly than most Bible studies do or a sermon covers. But these stories are so profound that we will be able through all eternity to understand their meanings and for us. So well, I can see. I think we're like at the hour, and the Christmas tree behind Halsey and Madian is starting to like twinkle. So I think that means the class is ending. But before we stop the video, are there any questions or comments in English? That sounds like a no, not in English. So thank you everyone who's watching us tonight, and may the Lord bless you.